Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, we got some more guidance from the CDC and now we have more ships also canceling some more sailings. So the first one we should talk about is Princess Cruise Line has now changed sailings on the Sapphire Princess, canceling a lot of her sailings. She was supposed to be setting sail in Asia and, yeah, you guessed it, Australia. However, with things going on in Australia, Princess feels, we're not too sure when they're ever going to start again and what the restrictions will be. So they're moving the Sapphire Princess over to Los Angeles. She's going to do some Mexican Riviera cruises starting in June. And they canceled all the way into October cruises for Australia and Asia. Princess is offering your money back or lift and shift. They are offering cruises in December on the Majestic Princess in Australia. Also the Royal Princess. It's just, again, more confusion and more uncertainty in Australia as international travel has opened up. They say they're talking about cruise ships now, but they seem to be no closer to actually reconcile when they actually want to start cruising. If ever, it seems, sometimes. Okay, the big news today is CDC. Well, before I get there quickly, because it's going to be a little bit longer topic, let me just invite you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Keeps you up to all things cruising, including what we're about to talk to with the CDC guidelines. Were you wondering if you needed to be boosted? You wondered what the cruise lines were going to do? Well, it's all in this stuff, and by subscribing to the channel, you'll be notified of the videos that let you know all this information. And again, I would really appreciate it. Well, the CDC's conditional sail order ended on January 15th, and that week they said their new guidance will be coming out, their voluntary system will be coming out in the next couple of days. Well, typical of the CDC. It's been almost a full month, but they're finally here. They finally came out with their guidance, and the cruise lines have until February 18th to opt into the system. And the cruise lines aren't happy because they seem to now be going into even not just holding like par with what they already had in place, but they seem to be like going heavy into it again, and even more restrictive and even more levels. And here's a perfect example of what they've done. Instead of just having, your typical, how they want 95% is that magic number, 95% fully vaccinated. Well, instead of having two tiers, 95% vaccinated, under 95% vaccinated, now they're going to have three tiers, everybody. That's right, three tiers. They're going to have the normal. If you're over 95% vaccinated crew and passengers, you are fully vaccinated cruise. If you're under that level, you are an unvaccinated cruise. But then, if you have fully vaccinated, over 95%, with updated booster, you are now vaccination excellence, excellence of vaccination cruise, whatever they want to call it. So the cruise lines are now going to have to go, in order to reach this standard, and make sure how each different vaccine that people have, there's a different timeline. There's a different timeline for Johnson & Johnson than there is for Pfizer and Moderna and the boosters. And are you getting the same booster that you got for your first two vaccines, et cetera, et cetera? The cruise lines are going to have to figure all that out. They are going to have to know the dates when you arrive at the cruise port. So it's going to take longer to go through everybody's vaccination status. And they're going to have to, you have to have your vaccine as of yesterday. You're now not boosted. What does that mean? Does that mean if you want to keep your vaccination excellence of standard or whatever you want to call it, does that mean that person can't get on the cruise? What's that mean? And so it doesn't seem like the cruise lines want to be the ones pushing the booster, but it highly seems like it wants to be the CDC, wants to include that out there. And again, they have until February 18th to opt into that system. Even the CLIA, the Cruise Lines Association, came out and said, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Either include vaccinations as boosted and make it countrywide and make that your standard of excellence for the entire country of the USA. Don't just say to cruise lines, it's you have to be boosted, but you know what? Everybody else, you don't have to be boosted. We recommend it, but there's no guidance anywhere saying that airline pilots have to be boosted or stewardesses have to be boosted or you have to be boosted to get on a plane. None of that stuff is out there. However, they're putting it in for cruise ships. Why cruise ships? Considering cruise ships have been proven to be safer than any place on land. Far fewer people end up in hospital if you've caught COVID on a cruise ship than on land. The percentage of spread on a cruise ship is far less than on land. And they do a good job in mitigating it with the cleaning standards. You don't see the same stuff that you see on land. Have you heard of a cruise ship saying, we can't handle the hospitalizations on our cruise, we can't handle it? No. Even during the worst of Omicron, you didn't hear it. They handled the situation. It was done. It was taken care of. But you've heard hospitals having to shut down businesses and things like that on land because they were afraid that the hospitals would be overrun. And the CDC still bringing up more guidance, more guidelines, different tiers, second-class citizens. Even, guess what? You're a first-class citizen now if you've been boosted. You're a second-class citizen if you only had your 2 doses of vaccine. And God forbid, whatever you are, if you're under that 95%, I guess, it just seems overly restrictive for a system where they're telling everybody out there that we have to start to live with it. We have to start to do everything. I mean, cruise ships still are sailing with 95% people vaccinated. And the vaccination rate on land in the United States is 63%. And far less than that if you're considering boosted. So I don't know where this is coming from, but we'll see what the cruise lines do. The cruise lines have until the 18th to opt in. So far they said they were going to opt in, but this might change their mind. This might tell them to say, you know what, CDC? We'll go in on our own. We've been doing fine, really, without your guidance. We've exceeded what you wanted us to do, and now you're just being punitive. And that's what a lot of people still think that they've been doing to the cruise lines since day one in March of 2020. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.